featuring Greg and Jack starts right now.
Oh, welcome in, everyone, on a Sunday. I'm Jack Neary from FantasyFarmSports.com. We've got Greg Kratzer, the old gamer GK, with us. How are we feeling, Greg?
We are doing great. We're doing wonderful. It's great to be back here after missing last week. But it's great to be back with you, Jack.
We gotta every once in a while, you gotta take some time off for yourself. It is summer, right? You don't get much time in summer.
Yeah. Yeah, then you got graduations around, birthdays, so I mean, life happens. But for the most part, we are back with you every single week.
So summer, you don't get football, but you do get football rumors.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyreek Hill has been making some noise this week with his top 5 quarterbacks. Let me give you Mr. Tyreek Hill's top 5, and then we'll discuss that afterwards. Tyreek Hill, in order, believes that it's Patrick Mahomes, Tua Tagovailoa, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, and 1 Baker Mayfield. That's his top 5. What do you think about that top 5, Greg?
It's not horrible, but it's not my top 5. Let's put it that way. Number 1, it's hard to disagree with that. Tua, you can make a case for being in that top 5. As far as number 2, I don't know. He's a troll. Tyreek Hill is a troll. He comes out, he says it himself. I believe it's his Twitter bio or X bio, whatever you want to call it. It says, like to start shit and step away. So, I mean, it's kind of funny. He's actually said it on ESPN, and I just started cracking up laughing when he said that. But you have to believe his first 2, he believes that himself. And it's really hard to disagree with his top 2. I mean, say what you want about Tua. He puts up the numbers. He wins in warm weather. Notice I say warm weather. And Patrick Mahomes, I mean, if you don't think he's the best quarterback in the league, and then you shouldn't be talking to us because you don't know much about football.
So here's my point. My thought is that I don't think he believes in this list. I don't. It is a little bit of trolling, but I don't think it. Look he's got 2 years left on his contract in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So here's how I think his list really plays, right? He won a Super Bowl in Kansas City. So of course Mahomes is number 1 on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Miami is his preferred destination. That's where he wants to stay.
Yes.
He doesn't want to leave Miami, so he gives props to his boy Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore has been contenders for years. Adding Hill to Harbaugh would only enhance their chances. And Harbaugh, like Andy Reid, like the coach he has now, they're all player friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Hill likes to kind of march to his own drum and be left alone.
And he said that.
He's been compared at times to Antonio Brown.
Okay. He's
as
not as loose head in it as Antonio Brown, but
But there's Brown.
He likes
tendencies.
to march to his own beat.
Right.
March to his own drums. But he even said that. He said that's one reason why he likes Miami, because they let him be who he wants to be.
Right. And you have Dak and Dallas. They'd also provide a winning culture. You get the stadium, right? America's team, primetime television spots with Tyreek Hill. Hey, man, the cheat in primetime. That feels like a decent career move if Miami was to move on. And lastly, hey, listen, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks too. Baker Mayfield lets you be yourself. He does.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what works for him. A little bit of that moxie, a little bit of that encouragement, a little bit of that, swagger, that works for Baker. Hill gets to stay in Florida, which I believe he really likes, and he adds pop to a Bucs offense that rolled pretty well last year.
Mm-hmm. At points.
My point being is that this is a contract motivated list. I don't believe it's his real list. I think that's the places where he would like to go if
Mm-hmm.
Miami were to pass on an older Cheetah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could see that. I don't think it's a contract motivated as far as what you say it is. I think it's more of a. I mean, it could be a little bit of both, but I think more it's a little bit contract, but it's more I think trolling. First two, like you said, he kind of needs to have those two. But I mean, Patrick Mahomes, like I said, he is the best overall quarterback in the league. Tua, you can make a case for. I mean, look at his numbers; he's good. Uh, he even when Tyreek Hill went there, he said Tua is the most accurate quarterback he's ever played with. So I mean,
I'm gonna tell you when the list became invalidated. When Lamar Jackson was put third.
yeah, I mean, we all know how a great player Lamar Jackson is. He has attributes that people would kill for, but he's not in the pocket quarterback. He's not a system quarterback. But something interesting with that though is what you said, like maybe this is a destination thing for Tyreek Hill. I wouldn't mind seeing Tyreek Hill with Lamar Jackson for 1 point. Patrick Mahomes had uncanny out of the pocket presence, after the play breaks down kind of thing, rapport with Tyreek Hill. Lamar Jackson's good after the play breaks down. I like to see how great those two would be together. They're both good when the play breaks down. So it'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting to see those two play together.
Lamar Jackson throws a great slant, and that's really all Tyreek Hill needs to go is a slant.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, listen, Tua throws a great long ball. Mahomes, obviously, big arm. Lamar Jackson throws a nice slant, and I think that they can do enough to utilize Tyreek's speed. Dak Prescott sees the play before it begins, and the last guy on his list has an absolute rocket. I mean, people could, Mayfield this, Mayfield that. Josh Allen sits there and goes, dude gets no respect for what he throws. And, that's one of your peers going, that I don't know what you guys are seeing, but in live time, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
What's your top 5 list?
My top 5 list would definitely be Patrick Mahomes at number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I mean, when he's healthy, I'm putting Joe Burrow at number 2.
That's a great answer.
Like he's if you take away last year, it's hard to keep him off the top 5 list. But everybody forgets that he was hurt last year.
Right now, you've given my first two.
Okay.
I'm in line with you.
Mm-hmm.
Who's
number 3? I mean, I would have to. Tua. Tua has to be right there. I'm looking at the list right now, and yeah. All right. This is my top 5. It would be Mahomes, Burrow, Tua.
Okay.
Purdy.
Okay.
And Josh Allen.
Okay.
That's my top 5. I know I left Dak Prescott out. Dak Prescott actually might not even make my top 10, believe it or not. You said before that he sees the play before the play actually happens.
Yeah.
Most of the time he sees the play wrong. He throws those interceptions at the wrong time. And I'm not saying it because I hate Dallas that much. Anybody that knows me knows I hate Dallas.
Careful with that, though. We threw the least amount of interceptions last year.
I am. That means nothing to me, though. He threw the interceptions he threw at the wrong times. They cost them the game.
So I would take Mahomes,
Okay.
number 1. Number 2, Burrow. And
hmm
and I think they're almost interchangeable,
Okay.
quite honest, because Mahomes, I think go to another team. I don't
Well, we
know.
lost your. We're losing your sound. You're cutting in
I'm
and out.
sorry. Am I back or what?
You're back. You're back.
All right. I I believe that Mahomes would have a little bit of trouble going to another team.
Mahomes?
Yeah, I think he'd have a little bit of trouble. He's always been with Reed. Always been with Reed. I think he would have a
hmm
little bit of trouble. I don't know if,
But he's gone through a couple different offensive coordinators, though. So I mean, that shows that he can change the system up a little bit if he needs to.
but I got Burrow next.
hmm
Um this next pick is based on athleticism and
Okay.
what he can do with less. And that's
Okay.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
That's pretty good right there.
hmm
I number 4, give me Prescott. Because
Wow. Okay.
the same thing we said about Mahomes is true for Prescott. I mean, he's had a bunch of different things going on there, and they're all different. Garrett's way different than McCarthy, and his offensive coordinators have changed as well. And
hmm
I think he had to deal with a lot coming in.
I agree, but the difference between Dak and Mahomes, I believe, is the level of talent that has been around them. Last year, Mahomes won the Super Bowl with probably the least talented team he had.
I know,
Their
but
wide receivers were garbage last year. Let's just
I
face it. They had
I think
Kelsey,
Joe
and that's
Montana.
it.
I think Joe Montana is a top 3 all time. I'm not going to move him down a peg because of his talent. There was a lot of talent around Joe.
No,
I'm
I
not
get
gonna.
that. No,
I'm not gonna.
I
So
know.
I'm not
I'm
gonna do
trying
that.
to. I know. I'm trying to make a point here. Uh, Dak, now on the other hand, has had talent around him the whole time. Jerry Jones makes sure he has a number 1 wide receiver, number 2 wide receiver. Most of the time throughout his ownership, he made sure that the quarterback had a running back too, up until last year.
Yeah, but Tua should have the most. Based on that, though, Tua should have the most touchdowns in the league, and he doesn't.
No, I get that.
So that's
Listen,
my.
I get that. I put Tua at number 3 because of what he did the last 2 years.
And I'm gonna. That's fine. That's. He's done. He's done wet. He's done better. But I got to put Josh.
And
Allen
believe me,
too.
I would have liked to put Purdy at number 3.
I've got.
I would have, but
So, and then lastly, I am gonna put Baker Mayfield at 5 because I think it's really tough to walk in after a Michael Jordan like presence and still make the playoffs, still be good. And by the way, it's largely the same locker room. It's all the same guys, and you're a completely different guy walking in. By the way, judged as a failure in Cleveland, not knowing what you're going in there to, and getting them all to cohesively go, look it, I remember, but now this is different. And Baker did all those things. Over 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I mean, that's really impressive.
no, it is. It
And
is.
6,
But
I want to give a 6 though, if I can. My 6th would be Brock Purdy. And I think Brock is fantastical, but I don't know, and I think it's going to change because for me, I think it's a little bit of Shanahan, not so much Brock. I think a lot of it's the play calling as well.
I mean that's what you could say about a good quarterback, though, is that the coach and the quarterback merge together to make a good team.
I wanted to put,
You know what I mean? I look at Belichick and Brady together. I don't want to put Brock and Shanahan in the same category as that, but I'm just saying, Joe Montana and Bill Walsh. You go down the list of the quarterbacks and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Like, you just go down the list. Your great quarterbacks have had a great relationship with their coach. You can't really fault either teams.
No, that's why I was
or either
top
side.
5. This is a top 5. That's why I gave a 6 because I think there's room for him to move up the list. I just circumstantially right now, I believe that Mahomes is going to have a great year. Burrow's going to have a comeback year. He's he's
he's going to crush it. He's going to crush it this year. He really is. He's going to come back with vengeance.
Yeah. And so what's another guy that can literally run the whole game and give you almost every yard himself? Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when put him on the field, I don't even care about watching Tua. I like him, but we don't need. He needs those guys around him. Josh Allen, they just threw all of his guys away, and he's going to do the same thing Patrick Mahomes does.
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott, to me, 6'4", nice height. I think he really understands not only what he has around him, but he's more of, to me, he quarterbacks more than the other guys because his talent's less. He doesn't have a great arm. He has to warm it up earlier. He has to get up out of bed earlier. He has to run the couple miles. Otherwise, he's not a brilliantly pure athlete. Dak Prescott. In fact, most of his interceptions.
No, Dak is an athlete.
Most of his interceptions.
Plus coming out of college was his athleticism.
A lot of his but his arm was bad. 4th round talent arm.
Well, he had a strong arm. He just wasn't accurate. He wasn't accurate at all. He was a sub 60% accuracy coming out of college. That's why he lasted till the 5th round.
So I
was
just think
because of that.
I think Prescott's my 4, and then listen, I know people will knock me for the Mayfield thing, but I mean, if we're being honest here, who would I put there? Jared Goff? I don't think he can move his feet. I think he's Drew Bledsoe.
I didn't give a 6, so my 6th, and I'm going off of career and what I think he would do this year with a good head coach, and that is Justin Herbert.
Okay.
If I had to pick a 6th, I think it would be Justin Herbert.
If you said Trevor Lawrence, I was coming over the screen. No, you see me.
I actually thought about trolling you a little bit.
You said Trevor. Did you see me? I was getting ready. I was like, what are you gonna say? Oh,
I thought about trolling you a little bit. Hey, Brock, what's going on? How you doing? Thanks for showing up. We greatly appreciate it.
Brock, he almost said Trevor Lawrence in his top 5. Trevor Lawrence is in a top 3 quarterback in Florida. Fact.
True.
No, I just, listen, I like Tyreek Hill. I like his list. But I mean, Lamar Jackson, they just keep giving the guy tools, and he's building the same house, right? It's 3,800 yards, 3,900 yards, and he's not running as much. And if he's not going to run as much, he's not going to be as effective in fantasy football world, everybody. And just letting you know that there was I had Lamar Jackson last year. Let me just go off on a tangent real quick. And I had, I was drafting in the 11th spot. Not highly coveted.
No.
But I did win. But you got to take chances. And what I did was I think it was in the 4th round on the turn, I took Lamar Jackson because I need some 35-point weeks. That's just, and we run a standard league. And I thought,
no PPRs, which that's a tough league right there. For all you guys that you young people, back in the day when I first started playing fantasy football, which was early 2000s, late 90s, when we used to have to do our stats from a newspaper.
They don't know anything.
We didn't have PPR leagues, so there was no half point, quarter point, or a point for catches.
Yeah,
so those leagues were a lot tougher. That's when running backs ruled.
Well, you need an accountant for what all they're asking now. Yeah, you had to do everything by paper, and hopefully you did really good math.
I remember at the bar working a bar shift at Ruby Tuesdays, freaking going through the paper and stats, trying to hurry up and fill out what I need to fill out for everybody that was in my league.
Oh my God! I mean, that's when it was work, right?
We got somebody on here that's naive. Daniel Jones is quarterback number 1. Got to support my squad, G-Men, baby, though I wanted Lamar Jackson in the draft. All right. Listen, when Lamar was at Louisville and when he was coming out, I said that he is going to be a 4,000-yard passer and a 1,000-yard rusher. I said he is going to have a great NFL career because he was doing the same thing in college that Michael Vick was doing with a lot less around him at Louisville.
I mean, here's what's, Lamar Jackson at this point in his career is better than Michael Vick. He's been better. Yeah, no, he has. He's been better. Michael
All
Vick
right, you
was
could
is
say he
the
was
Bo Jackson of
better, but
quarterbacks.
he all right. He's better, but he's not explosive.
I mean, I don't know. There's highlights out there. He doesn't have the highlight reel that Vic has.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
Yeah.
he took a 73-yarder against Buffalo in the playoffs, and you went, wow. Come on, England.
Yeah, that's right. The Euro Cup finals to England, Spain versus England. England has been known to choke a lot, so I believe Spain is favored in this.
All right, we'll root for England with you, though.
So yeah, we'll go for England. I'm always up for the underdog, so
17.
let's go England. Even though they're known to choke quite a bit. Again, I'm not a soccer guy. Jack, you're more of the soccer guy. I'm just regurgitating some of the stuff that I've heard other people say. So
I used to all right, so I know a little bit. Not a lot of it, but I know a little bit. I used to really enjoy England when they had Rooney on the team. Because Rooney, what he was is just he was a mainstay from yesteryear. He was an absolute worker. He wasn't this gifted athlete, but he was just a guy who made the team every year, much like Landon Donovan. Okay, I think you remember that name. And he just made the team every year.
The United States.
And he would switch positions, and he would do whatever you needed to come out on top. And sometimes they didn't, but Rooney was fun to watch. So Eval_17, if you understand, if you remember Rooney, he was one of my favorite guys for England.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked Rooney.
Nice. Yeah, see, like I said, I don't know much about soccer. Now, he said that England are not the underdogs. Okay, all right. My bad. I could have swore that's what I seen when I went on to sports.
Does he mean New England? They haven't been underdogs in 20 years.
DraftKings, I mean. I'm just pulling up my DraftKings now so we could get an accurate description of what's going on here.
Well, while you're looking that up, I just want to talk.
Yep. Go ahead.
Quick. So we had I've just partnered with gridironhelmets.com, and they're got for all your football helmet needs, your mini helmets.
Oh, you went off. No sound. No sound. Nothing. No. Yeah. Well, while Jack is doing that, our odds are updated. So home, which is England, is at plus 140, and Spain is at plus 260. So England is favored. But I'm going to put some money down on Spain. We're gonna do a $5 bet. $5 bet right here. Where are we at here? Can we see? It's not coming up, right? Anyways, we're doing a $5 bet on Spain. We want to do. No, I'm sorry. England is not favored because England is at plus 260. So England's at plus 260. Spain is at plus 140. So England definitely, Spain is definitely favored in this, guys. So we're putting $5 on England. $5 on England. There we go, guys. Nothing. Nope. Try your cord. But while Jack's trying to get his setup going here, like I said, England is the underdogs in this, even though Adbel17 said they are not the underdogs. Maybe not in his head, but as far as the books go, as far as the betting books go, they are not. So since I don't know much about soccer, that's my soccer take on this. Let's talk a little bit about the NFL here. We were talking about quarterbacks before. Um, one of the things one of the reasons why I'm not really high on Dak that most people are, I understand his QBR was second in the league. It was at 72.7. Um, just the eye test, it's not there. He just throws the interceptions at the most unopportune time.
Hey, nothing.
I can hear you, but it doesn't sound good. And I can hear myself.
Check. Hey.
I can hear you.
Better?
You're good. You're good. Good to go.
Yeah. Sorry
All
about
right.
that, guys.
Dak is back. He's back.
no, but
Okay,
what's
guys.
great-
You guys
so-
heard my
so, but-
take on Dak. So
No,
back to
but it just changed itself. I didn't
Yeah,
change anything.
yeah.
It
Mhm.
changed its. I'm gonna block these things off here. Just change itself.
Don't you do you have a lock mechanism for that anywhere where you can lock in your settings?
I mean, I
Oh,
don't.
you're not
I
sure
wouldn't
yet.
expect a setting to change itself
No, I wouldn't either. But you know,
automatically. I just looked and
Yeah.
I was like, "How is it even on
Yeah.
this? It shouldn't be on this."
Mhm.
Anyway, so guys, anyway, for all your helmet needs, I go to Grid.
All right. You want to finish? Hold on. You want to finish up your soccer rant as we wrap up the soccer thing? I just looked. England is favored in this, plus 260, and Spain is at plus 140.
Plus 260. No, that's not the favorite. Then it should be.
Yeah, because I win more money off of $5 off of England than I do on Spain.
Right. That means Spain's your favorite.
No, I win less money off of Spain. Yeah, Spain is favored. Yeah.
Yeah.
England's the underdog is what I mean. That's
Yeah.
what I meant. This guy here said England are not the underdog, but they are.
England's squad value over 1 billion. Well, I don't care what their value
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, but I mean they might not be the underdog as far as you're thinking and as far as pay rate, but as far as the bookies go and Vegas goes, they are the underdog.
Yeah, they're the.
And they're
underdog.
the underdog that because the bookies know they have choked multiple times.
You took England or Spain?
I just took England. I took England for $10. So
Oh, it's a good bet.
you know, we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. And
Maybe.
one of the reasons also why I'm taking England is there's a streamer, Tim the Tatman, that I like to watch. At the beginning of the year, he picked 3 different sports all to win. He hit on the Panthers. He hit on, I want to say, the Chiefs. And now he has for the Euro, he has England. So if he hits all 3, he wins like 50 grand.
Wow, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, before all this starts, to hit on all 3, that's pretty incredible. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to root for fun, right? That's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Back to what you were going to say now. Let's unveil the helmet.
So look at this helmet. So this is gridironhelmets.com made this for Fantasy Farm Sports. It's actually for sale on their site. Look at that. There's a little mustache in the middle. Right. And in the back, we've got our website, fantasyfarmsports.com. Real good quality helmet, guys. It's a nice little mini. It sits on my desk. You can get them for yourself or you can get them customized. Whatever you want. But I'll tell you what, they do a fantastic job. I was really happy with the product they've gave us. And so we're selling them. You know, that's we're selling them and we're getting involved with trophies for our brand as well. gridironhelmets.com for all of your helmet needs. Pretty cool stuff.
Absolutely.
Smaller head.
Gridironhelmets.com.
It's cool.
Helmets.
Oh, he's checking it out. This is great stuff.
I am we're gonna do something for our guy here.
Hey, there he is.
There you go.
gridironhelmets.com, baby.
There you go.
I like it. I appreciate that. Listen, the guy
You cut out again. Nope. Sorry about the difficulties, guys.
And now we're back.
Yeah, just bad. You can't hear you. I can hear myself, and you are low.
How about that?
Better. Good. You're
this
good.
Is literally, yeah.
Yep.
I gotta close all the road stuff. Hey guys, if you're looking for software not to use, it's Rode.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I have a
Oh, there it is. GridironHelmets.com, baby.
yeah, I wish I would have capitalized that stuff real quick, but I wasn't looking.
That's
at
okay.
what I
We
was
did
typing.
it fast, and you know,
Yeah.
they're like I said, the guy's fantastic. He does all of his own work, so it's all customized. It's him. It's a one-man army. Now he's got a couple
It's
guys
impressive.
there, but
That's impressive, though.
But he does really good work, and so, you know what it is? It's small business supporting small business, right? I run Fantasy Farm Sports, and he wanted to come in and help with my small business. So I'm gonna promote for his small business, and one day we'll be one large business.
All we can do is just keep growing. That's all we can do.
I said small business too many times. I drove myself crazy. All right, let's talk big business, because I'll tell you what, Aaron Judge is not small business.
No,
he is big business. Words to describe: large, strapping. I mean, he is absolutely all of it. 34 home runs. It's the most by a Yankee before the All-Star break. Had a lot of.
that's really good. You keep breaking up.
I mean, they're everywhere.
Gone. Nothing. Nothing.
Back now.
Yep. Now you're back.
Now. Yeah,
yes.
it keeps. It's insane. It keeps doing it.
Huh.
Yeah. There's no. It is what it is. Next closest in home runs, Shohei Ohtani with 29. We think he's a pretty good baseball player.
Listen, which I think is absolutely incredible. Like, that's 29 home runs coming from, I know he's not pitching right now, but he's a pitcher. You know what I mean? Like, that's 29 home runs coming from a pitcher, which is crazy.
No, Ohtani's fantastic. I mean,
yeah, unreal.
You know, he's not pitching and won't be this year, and it's okay. He doesn't need to pitch.
No, but it's just absolutely incredible that many home runs is coming from a pitcher.
And they went out.
I'm 40. I'm 49 years old. I've never seen that.
No, I mean, you had what? Some of the older guys used to do it. Some of the Babe Ruths used to do it.
Yeah, but that's way before my time. That's way before modern day baseball. It's just incredible.
Right, and you know, I mean, there's a lot of incredible guys out there right now. You know, you have who's another one? Oh, how about Ellie De La Cruz? De La Cruz out of Cincinnati. The only reason why anyone talks about Cincinnati baseball is De La Cruz. He's got 46 stolen bases. If he gets on base, he's taking another. I mean, that's just. But Ricky, we love Ricky Henderson. This cat's gonna break his records. He takes all the bases. He's much faster than Ricky. He plays differently. I just want to mention the record for stolen bases in a single season is held by Hugh Nicholas. 1887. Had to dig for those.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That hasn't been broke yet.
It happened in 1887, and he stole 138 bags.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And he was also a member of the same organization. They were called the Cincinnati Red Stockings. Cincinnati
Right.
Red Stockings.
That's pretty cool.
So there's some fun. I know that, listen, baseball doesn't necessarily have all of the drama that other sports do. Oh, I'm changing teams for the 5th time and oh, fantasy this and oh, does this guy want to play with this guy? They don't have those kind of storylines.
Mm-hmm.
But, we could be talking about Aaron Judge breaking a home run record.
Mm-hmm. He
Not
could.
on steroids. He's not on steroids at all. I mean, that dude wakes up and he's in shape.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple guys behind him. You got Ohtani with 29. Bryce Harper just hit 21 off the DL. So a couple of these guys, Gunnar Henderson, is going to be in home run derby, along with Adam Baum. What a great last name! How could you not bet Baum to hit home runs in the home run derby? No, just like there are guys out there. You're like, Jesus. I mean, that name was built for baseball.
Now, I didn't see. Do they have who's going to be in the home run derby? I didn't see who's participating.
Those are 2 guys I know for sure. Gunnar Henderson and Adam Baum are confirmed in the home run derby. Those are the fun ones. I'm sure there's a couple other outliers. I think there's a Dodger, not the Dodger we want. Toscada, I believe. Are you checking up? You got a list? I know
No, I don't. I'm just looking down. Let me see here.
I know you're the list guy, but yeah, we got a lot of and there's going to be races heating up too, right? We've got the Cleveland Guardians leading their division, but the Minnesota Twins are hot on their trail, and I believe that the Twins are going to overtake that division because I think their pitching's deeper. Cleveland's a fine team with a couple nice players, but Minnesota's built to win this year. How about the Philadelphia Phillies? All you do is mention the fact that, they have the best record again. Every week. Every Sunday we get to Sunday, and we want to name another team. Can't. It's the Phillies.
Yeah.
Oh, but they got to play the Dodgers. That's okay. They'll beat them 10-1. What?
All right, we got a list here of home run derby participants. We got Gunnar Henderson from the Orioles.
Love him.
Then we got Pete Alonso from the Mets.
Oh, he's fun.
Alec Boehm from the Phillies.
Yeah, Alec Baum, baby.
Yep. Bobby Witt Jr. from the Royals.
Yeah, not really excited about. He's fun.
Yeah. Marcel Ozuna from the Braves.
Oh, I actually think he's on steroids.
Yeah, he hit 24 as of right now, so he's doing pretty good. Jose Ramirez from the Guardians.
Ramirez is the player from the Guardians. He's really good. Ozuna looks like he's gonna break out of his uniform. That's how big he is. Oh, I mean, no, dude, I've seen like he stood next to Saquon Barkley. He's got thighs double the size. I can't make it up.
After that, we got Garcia from the Rangers.
Oh, he's a big dude too.
We got Hernandez from the Dodgers. That's a big one right there. And that's it. That's the participants for the home run derby.
Well, I mean, I'll be rooting for either Gunnar Henderson or Alec Baum. I think those are the two. Those are the fun picks for me. I'm going
to root for Alec Baum because I like the name.
Yeah, Baum's great. By the way, Gunnar, right?
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
If we could have Gunnar versus Baum in the championship.
That would be great. That would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be great, right? Like, listen, Gunnar I like writing stuff in the newspaper, guys. So Gunnar versus Baum, let's do it. Right? While you're smoking a cigar, right? Pouring that bourbon. Who's going to win? Which side are you on?
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the home run derby. I don't want to gloss over the pitching for the All-Star game. I want to touch on a guy that is a former White Sox player who kind of reinvented himself with the Braves, and that's Chris Sale.
Oh, he's awesome.
Chris Sale. I don't like him, but, I mean, The guy leads right now 12 wins in the major leagues. He leads the majors in wins. So
Here's something I found out about baseball. If you pay attention to the second half of the season, you'll get a preview for the next year.
mhm.
It's just it just seems to be like, so 2 years ago, the Baltimore Orioles had the best record in the second half of the season. They're a young
Mhm.
team, but weren't ready in the
Yeah.
first half. All of
Mhm.
a sudden, the Orioles are beating teams
Mhm.
because they got confidence in the second half of the season, how to hit that major league ball, all these young kids, right? Um, Chris Sale was a top 10 pitcher on the back end of last season. And the Red Sox didn't want anything to do with him. They thought he was done, all this other stuff. And Atlanta actually brought him in to be their third.
Mhm.
It was going to be Strider, then Morton, I believe, and then
Okay.
Sale. And
Mhm.
Sale as a third is fantastic. And then Strider went down, and I went, oh no, what are they going to do? Is Sale good enough too?
Mhm.
Sale's been a monster too.
He has. He has.
And he's got it. Look at, man, that Tommy John takes a minute. It's like an
Mhm.
ACL or something. You just need to have, you need to find the whip in the elbow again.
Yeah.
Doesn't come back automatically. And let's not pretend like, Tommy Johns doesn't retire people, because Strasburg is done way too soon. But
Yeah.
if we're talking about young pitchers, how about Skeens out of Pittsburgh?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
He's got a great little mustache he's working on there. I'm telling you, dude, he will put you out.
Mhm.
And he's a great young talent. They're doing a great job up in Pittsburgh as far as coaching goes too, right? Because
Mhm.
he can go 15 innings. He really could. He's
Oh,
at
if he needs to, yeah.
101 in the eighth. And you
Mhm.
know that he's like in that dugout when they take him out, probably going, guys, just
I
pitch
had
me.
a complete game here. Come on.
And
Yeah.
the coaching staff is able to tamp down and make him happy and go, hey, look, Paul, look, you got a whole career here. And
Mhm.
and we're gonna pay you too.
Mhm.
And by the way, I hope they pay him, because
Yeah.
the Pirates pay nobody.
No, and that's why they keep losing everybody, because they don't pay anybody. They have, if you look at their history, they have so many times where they had so much great talent and young talent around them that they just didn't end up paying them.
Well, they didn't think Barry Bonds was any good, so.
Hmm. Actually, at that time, they let a lot of players walk back then. A lot of players.
Yeah, and because they think, it's funny that you can become so arrogant as a general manager and owner to just think that, oh, these guys are a dime a dozen. But
Hmm.
let's be honest, it was Willie Mays' nephew that you found on your squad, just playing baseball there. I mean, but you don't find, sure, you find a good hitter here, or a guy who can
Hmm.
play here, or a Dela Cruz there. You can find guys like that. But when you find Willie Mays' nephew on your roster, you pay him.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple, right? Like right now, Pittsburgh has probably, I don't want to be too early here, but they probably have the next Strider over the next 3 years.
Hmm.
And his numbers currently, and we're not going to talk about young Nolan Ryan because he wasn't given an opportunity, but he does have Los Angeles Angels Nolan Ryan numbers he's putting up. Those numbers from Nolan Ryan were unmatched. This dude can really throw a ball.
Hmm.
You have to keep a guy like that in the building. You can't let him go.
Okay.
You can't let him go
Hmm.
because, and by the way, whoever's your director of talent, not very good. You let
Yeah.
let McCutchen go, and he went somewhere else and helped youthful players grow up. And then you
Hmm.
brought him back, and now you're getting the same development in your building. Some guys just know the game. They know the travel schedule. They know the hotels. They're valuable, even if they're only batting 250 and they're 35.
Hmm.
So Pittsburgh needs to put the right guy, because they can make a run, and they'll be fun. I think the Pirates
Okay.
can be a really good baseball team going forward.
No,
And
absolutely. I believe they can be too.
this dude's got juice. He's got a mustache. I mean, what else do you want?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. We got the how about the MLB trade deadline?
Um,
You got anything that you
I
think is
thought
going to happen, or anything on your radar? I know there's a couple White Sox players that they're looking at.
I
Um,
really
what's his name? Crochet, Crochet, the
they were
pitcher.
talking about
Gone to
Ruiz Jr. as well, moving from the
yeah.
White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Look at if I look at here's what the White Sox should do. Nothing, because everybody wants to poach your talent based on your record. Don't give
Yep.
them your good players. What you want to do in this time is you want to see what you have at your minor league level. Bring them
Mm-hmm.
up, see if any of them can even remotely hit. You might have 3 diamonds in the rough down in AAA. Bring
Yeah.
them up. Let them hit.
Mm-hmm.
They can get used to stuff. Now all of a sudden you found 2 other guys that can play, 3 other guys that could play, right? Pull a
Mm-hmm.
starting pitcher. See if you have some relievers. See what you have in-house. Don't start
Yeah, and it
selling
makes
for nothing.
exactly. And that Crochet, he's one of the best pitchers in the league this year with a crappy team, and he's only 25 years old. Like, why would you want to trade something like that away?
Don't you dare. No, don't do it. Build through your system. Believe in your system. All right, you're having a
Mhm.
bad year. That's fine.
Yeah.
So everybody, in that area can cheer for the Cubs. Oh, wait a second. The Cubs are not very good either. So
No.
it's a battle to the bottom for Chicago right now. And at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, you still want to make sure that you get yourself better and in position. Right? It's a
Yes.
brand.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
brand. It doesn't end after this year. So don't start
Mm-hmm.
selling off stuff that you don't really know what it's worth, because everybody's going to come and pick off you because they know you're desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Desperate times
Yeah.
call for desperate measures, but you don't have to move quickly.
No. And if you do trade away somebody like him, that's 25 years old, that's like one of the top pitchers in the league, you get it. You like rape the other team that wants him. Like, you take every freaking prospect plus a draft pick plus a player traded. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give up what the Yankees used to give up for players. Like, the
Yeah.
Yankees used to unload everything for that one player that they needed. That bring in a haul, and then I'm all right with that. Other than that, I'm with you. You keep your young talent. Bring up people, see what you got. It's a wash year.
Right. So here's the greatest example of that. And I know they have money, but they don't care about it. This is a team that has a lot of money to spend and doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Washington Nationals.
Yeah.
The Washington Nationals let Soto walk.
Mm-hmm.
They insulted Bryce Harper and he walked.
Yeah.
Right. And what they've done is they build through their farm system. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have, and they have a decent starting pitcher. I don't, forgive me for names, but I've watched them a little bit. They've
Yeah.
got 3 hitters. It's not a full lineup, but they've got a couple guys,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not willing to sell on them. They'll develop guys next year. They'll find. I mean, look at. I don't know if you guys watch college baseball. We're baseball nerds here.
Yeah.
There's players coming out of college baseball that are fun. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
could find, if Pittsburgh can find a guy to pair with Skeens,
Mm-hmm.
right? If the White Sox, they find 2 hitters. All you need is 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
if you find 2 hitters and you bat them in the 2nd and the 5th position, maybe they're good enough to make your other hitter get better. That's how
Better. Yep.
baseball's
Mhm.
played.
Yep.
So you're building a team, right? Like people talk about Gooden and Strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Hernandez was the big deal on that Mets team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was huge on that team.
He got the doubles that drew in a couple runs. All of a
Mhm.
sudden, you're winning games 4-2. That's a W.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't like teams that give up on the players that they have. I don't like that.
Correct.
Drives me crazy.
Me neither. Me neither. Like I said, if the team comes around and blows you away with the trade, then all right, I'm for that. I'm for that. You're not doing anything anyways. Let's see if you get 5-6 players in that trade. Maybe you get 2 of them that's going to come up and play good for you, or maybe none. That Sale trade that we got with Boston when we traded away Sale, like every player we got from them, we did nothing for us. Nothing.
Right.
He hasn't done anything. None of
And
them.
why did you trade an ace away?
Because he didn't want to be there. Before the game started, listen, before a game started, we had a throwback jerseys that we had. He didn't like them. Before anybody had a chance to put them on, he cut up everybody's jerseys. He cut them up.
So put him in the minors. You own his
You know
rights.
what I mean? Like he was a cancer, is what he was.
Oh, that's fine, but you own his rights, though. Put him in the minors.
Yeah,
Then
but
no
but
one
I
gets
mean,
to see him.
we didn't get nothing for him. We got some really good prospects. We got one of the best prospects that was in the major leagues at the time, and I can't remember his name. It started with an M, but he hasn't done anything. He hasn't
Yeah.
done anything. You know, I wish I remembered what his name was, but it's slipping my mind. But yeah, no player we got in that sale trade has done anything.
So I wonder if the Dodgers will do something. They'll try to find because I think they should. I think the Dodgers need to find a shortstop.
Yeah.
I understand that Mookie Betts has been playing shortstop, but he's injured, and he's been injured.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And look, I know that you've been getting through with the guys that you have now, but I mean, you have a team built to go all the way, get into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't just how it feels. I don't think the Dodgers are good enough to beat the Phillies. I don't know why. I think that this Phillies team is just built to win in big games.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to find a way to get past the Dodgers. In fact, I'll say it right now. I think the Phillies are probably going to win it all this year.
Okay.
They have the pitching, they have the hitting, and by the way, Philly has not only the best record in baseball, because they do. They have the best record at teams above 500.
Mm-hmm.
They're sending messages every single time. Like look at, they had the Dodgers beat 5-1, and they added another 5 runs. And you might think it's nothing because it's only July 14th.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something, because to put on a whooping like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to go into the playoffs a couple months later and look at the same jerseys, like that stuff matters in baseball. You know, to know that, you know, Wheeler went out there, mowed down every talent that you brought in to only muster up 1 run. It's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Philly has some kind of that they play with some kind of swagger. That's the thing. The Yankees too are a nice team. They play with no swagger.
Yeah.
No
Mm-hmm.
swagger. I don't know why. I love
Mhm.
Judge. I love Soto. I like a lot of their players. No swagger. None.
No, that team has no personality.
None.
No person.
Zero.
None. Yeah, none.
And
No, the
for
Padres have, or not the Padres. The Baltimore has more pizzazz than they do, if that's what you want to say.
And no,
You
but
know?
that stuff, when you get into the playoffs,
Mhm.
that matters. Like, for how great Judge is.
Mhm.
He doesn't have that, you know, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Because he can
Mhm.
hit the hell of a ball. He can play the game. But, I mean, when it's 3-2 and you need a hit in the 6th,
Mhm.
are you getting a hit in the 6th? Or you know, is it going to be Soto? Who's it going to be?
The only thing that scares me about Philly is that they had one of the best records last year going into. They were one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs, and I wonder if that's just going to loom in their head. Like, listen, we were good last year, but we ended up blowing it last year. Like, is that going to be in their head?
So I thought about
Like,
that.
creep in at any time?
I thought about that. I thought about, first of all, I think the fact that Harper's moved from the outfield to first base has kind of rejuvenated him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, I'm at a different spot. This is great. This is fun again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's helped. I thought they would come into this year sluggish because of how it ended last year with the Diamondbacks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I just was like, man, you know, God, it feels like a blown opportunity. And they've come in this year and they're just like, we'll just score 12 runs every game. We'll just beat the hell out of everybody. Like, let no more messing around, no more wild card. Everybody's talking about the Braves, how much better they've gotten, you know, with them bringing in Sale.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks that we blew it last year. Let's go beat them again. I just everybody's talking about the Dodgers. I think Philly they're a team that understands their mistakes, and they're going, we're disrespected. We're a 100-win team. And we haven't done that yet, by the way.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to win 100 games this year, and I think they're going to go into the playoffs, and I don't think it's going to change.
Okay. I personally like the Dodgers this year. I just think with them bringing in Ohtani and with the core that they had before, as long as Betts comes back healthy, I think they have a really strong shot at winning it this year.
I love the Dodgers as well, but traditionally, when you bring in, a couple new players, and despite the talent that they are, it usually takes a year.
Yeah.
LeBron James in Miami, New England won, but not with Randy Moss.
Yeah.
So I just think that first year doesn't yield you the fruits that you want it to. Being knocked down a couple times, I think is what gets it done. So I think it's going to be Philly's year. And
yeah, I think baseball is a little bit different when it comes to stuff like that, though. Like the Yankees did it for years, bring in one or two guys, to really up that roster. So I just think baseball is a little bit different. There's a little bit less of a curve learning your teammates, if you know what I mean. Football, like, you need to learn your teammates. Everybody has a position where they need to be at a certain time. Baseball is a little bit more free flowing, if I can get that out correctly.
The Mets brought in a couple guys. They brought in J.D. Martinez. They brought in a couple guys this year, right?
It doesn't help. It doesn't work all the time. I'm not saying it does.
They were a joke for 2 months. Now they're playing.
Yeah.
I just think that when how do you talk to the guy that's batting 196 and can't figure out the curve, but 2 months ago he was batting 425? So you need to know how to maneuver and massage those relationships. You can't go, hey man, did you forget to hit? You don't know how. You're killing me. I'm on second every time. I can't get home. You got to know how to do that. And I think that Philadelphia manages all those personalities nicely. And by the way, they're not going to run into the Diamondbacks this year.
Yeah. And it's a nice story. Philly is a nice story. It's a bunch of how did you put it earlier in the season with them? Like a bunch of what was it? Beer chugging frat boys or something like that, you said?
Yeah, they're a bunch of they look like a bunch of beer league baseball players.
Yeah,
that got together, and they're much better than you think. And all of a sudden, they go from town to town, and not only do they beat you in a baseball game, but then they steal your women and then they leave. That's what Philadelphia does. Right? Like, you know how good the Dodgers are? Oh my God, 10-1. And it just, that's what they are. They're you almost want to pat them on the back, right? So they're very much Baker Mayfield, if you think about it. Right? You start talking mean about him, he goes out and throws 4 touchdowns. You pat him on the back, he might have a bad game. Everybody had the series written off. They wrote the Diamondbacks off. The Phillies won the first 2, right? And the Diamondbacks came back and won the series. When Philly feels good, when this team feels good about itself, they play worse. So I guess it's no wonder they came into the season cracking the damn thing. So I think it's Philly.
Okay. All right. Okay. I do like Philly. I like them too. But if I had to pick a team right now that I think would win it all, I think that it would be the Dodgers. Philly, close second, right behind them. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I like Philly, or I like Baltimore. Baltimore's got a lot of juice.
When you have a team like the Dodgers with the talent they had, and then you add somebody like Ohtani, it's hard not to pick them.
Oh, I mean, listen, the Dodgers are a great team, and I have the Dodgers next year. I just think they need a year.
Go ahead.
It's some things are being proven already. Like if you watch some Philly games, they've had great comebacks. They've blown teams out. The ball seems to be bouncing their way. Betts has already missed time with a broken hand. The balls don't necessarily seem to be going the Dodgers' way.
Yeah.
And I did, again, they got all the talent in the world, but you need a bounce.
You know what I think would be a great postseason if this happened is if Dodgers Phillies met in the playoffs. Okay.
I'm listening.
Right. Yeah, they're both National League, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Dodgers Phillies meet in the playoffs. Dodgers are really like hurting for that one pitcher, and Ohtani is just healthy enough to pitch in the playoffs. Could you freaking imagine that? Ohtani pitches like blows them away. Like that would be the best story ever if that happened. Like they would write movies about that. Like doesn't pitch the whole season, comes in the playoffs, goes undefeated throughout the playoffs, plus like hits, I don't know how many home runs, gets on base, like a storybook ending. It would be incredible.
Philly fans everywhere hate you.
I know. Philly fans want to have my head right now about that, but I'm just saying that would be pretty cool if that did happen.
Just to let you guys know out there, he'll be at Eagles Stadium sometime this year watching a 49ers game, clothed from head to toe in 49ers gear. So, you'll have to wait some time for Greg, but he'll be there after bashing your Philadelphia Phillies. Okay, well, go ahead. Highlight this part of it, right? I want this part of the editing to go out there, right? Dodgers blue. Boo.
Listen, I'm a White Sox fan, so that shows
don't
where
take
my
back your
credibility
statement
is.
now.
No, I'm not. I stand by my statement. I stand by all my statements.
Rooting for Japan and Ohtani. How dare you? There's nothing more American than the Philadelphia Phillies and the
No,
Philly
and
fanatic.
you're probably right. You probably definitely are right. They're probably, as far as your working class, your after work, you go to a bar, you have your beer, like that's Philadelphia Phillies. I get it. I get that. I don't want to be hating on America. It's not about that. It's
By the way,
just
I don't even know what a Philly is.
I don't know what is it a horse? Is it a girl? Is it a cigar? What is it?
Right, I don't know, but we'll be rooting. But no, I did want to say, before we wrap up this baseball talk and we get to quick hits, every week, it seems that the Guardians held the Indians, Guardians, it's the same team, but they held the major league lead for 2 or 3 games, right? So they're a fantastic team, by the way. The Guardians are really well. I think the Yankees had it for a minute. Maybe the Orioles had it for a minute. But it just seems every Sunday when we get here and we sit down at the table and you and I have this conversation and everybody listens, that it seems to be the Phillies that are leading the Major League Baseball again. In wins all the time. And here's what it's going to do, too. It's, injuries happen. People and players get tired. Philadelphia's going to be able to kind of rest their guys a little bit. Just a little bit. Have them in the batting cages, but don't, put them out there to get absolutely crushed. I think that, I would send my whole team. This is what I would do. I would send all of my Phillies players down to hit minor league pitchers, not major league pitchers. Just give them a little breaky break, you know what I mean? Have a sip of beer or two, go hit some home runs, feel good about yourself. Because you guys won over 100 games, and I could care less about what you're doing at the end of August. That's how I feel. By the way, I didn't even mention Trey Turner, who, when Schwarber and Harper were off doing whatever, he was just, I'll just hit home runs all day.
Yeah, no, listen. Philly is a nice story. It really is. They have just as good a shot as anybody else. It's just, like I said, they're my second behind the Dodgers.
First in your heart, though, right?
Yeah. No, White Sox are first in my heart, but bottom in my
best,
gut.
Guys. I'm doing my best.
You're trying to throw me a bone here, but I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. I'm throwing it right back to you.
If you dressed like Santa at that Philadelphia Eagles game this year, you were gonna catch ice balls in the gut. I'm just saying.
Batteries, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal. And I'm trying to save you. I'm not going to see you after Christmas.
At least they don't carry those big 12-volt batteries. Those would hurt.
Oh, God. Quick hits. What do you got, Greg?
Quick hits. I think we should do a little bit of NBA. I know it just ended, but a lot of trades have happened in the NBA.
Okay.
Warriors are a different team. Some teams added some good pieces. Couple of your names. Klay Thompson, no longer with the Warriors, with the Mavs. What do you think about that?
Not much, because I think his skills are. I think he's diminished.
Do you think it helps the Mavs at all? Do you think it's a good move by Klay, bad move by the Warriors, good move by the Warriors?
I don't know. Right? I don't know at this point in his career. And people are gonna kill me for saying this, but I don't know if Klay Thompson is any better than Tim Hardaway Jr. at this point in his career.
Okay.
And they just moved on from Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
Brought in Klay Thompson, and I don't know if there's a big difference. I really don't.
Yeah.
Defensively, maybe he'll play a smidge better defense.
A little bit better defense. He was a liability last year too. He wasn't the same Klay defensively either.
So.
And Hardaway went to the Pistons, by the way, for those of you that wanted to know.
Yeah, he went to the Pistons, and the Pistons are
putting. Yeah, so he's going there to die.
Yeah, they're putting together a bunch.
Sorry, the Pistons are just horrible. They're just a horrible team right now.
Well, no, they're going to be good this year. They got Tim Hardaway Jr. They've got Tobias Harris. They're going to be a really good basketball team.
Oh, you think so?
No,
everybody else has throwaways.
No, I want to go to
Philly. Didn't want Harris.
I want to be able to visit Detroit, unlike you in Philly.
Listen, they're gonna as soon as they're gonna have a sign of me in Philly saying, "Don't let this guy in."
I hope they do. I hope you're on a billboard right before you drive in the city. Guys, donate to the Every Point Sports podcast so we can put a billboard up of Greg right outside the city of Philly. That way, every time he bashes them, you guys could say you contributed.
Listen, I don't bash Philly too much. I respect Philly to a degree. It's really their football team that I hate.
There he goes.
I know. I'm digging myself deeper and deeper. I know it.
Guys, I really respect you. I love you so much. I just want to burn down the bench.
All right. Back to the NBA trades. So Klay, you really don't have a opinion on yet. Is kind of what you're saying.
I don't think he's going to be any better. I don't think it helps him. I think it's a splash trade for a splash brother that doesn't splash anymore.
I get you, and that's why I'm heartbroken, but not extremely heartbroken that he's gone. I was a Klay fan. I still am a Klay fan. He's helped us win multiple championships. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer right away. So yeah, I mean, did I hate him going? Yeah, but apparently it was coming out that there was a lot of animosity in the locker room. Klay was really ruffling some feathers, I've heard. So not just with the front office, but with players in the locker room too. So any type of cancer in the locker room, I'm kind of fine with moving on from.
Yeah. I know it was reported as breaking news. I just kind of went, whatever.
Yeah, we all knew it was going to happen. Another big trade, DeRozan to the Kings. That's pretty big.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I think that the Kings have but they have a few 3-point shooters and they have some athletes, but they only had one guy that can kind of control the paint, and that was Sabonis. Now you're getting another paint shooter in DeRozan, and a guy that can kind of, DeRozan's greatest strength is almost like a Kawhi Leonard. What he does is he controls minutes in the game, not necessarily. He controls the pace of the game, how it's played. So I think he's a valuable piece.
Absolutely. He's a good NBA player. You add that to that Kings team, I think that's really good. He's going to take some valuable minutes for that team. He really is. He was very strong for the Bulls. So yeah, I think that's a great trade by them.
It's just another team now that's better than the Lakers in the West.
Yeah. I mean, The last time we had our podcast was right before the, or no, it was during during the NBA trade, the day after the, day after the NBA uh, draft,
Yeah.
and we were talking about what the Lakers needed to do, and what did they do? Nothing that we told them they needed to do.
I think they tried.
Nothing.
I think they tried.
They did try. Nobody wanted to go there.
I don't, at some point, you got to sit there and go, does anybody want to play with LeBron James?
Well, that's the thing. LeBron picked up the phone and called Clay personally. Personally.
And you want to play with him?
No. No, he'd rather go to the Mavs.
And Kyrie doesn't want to play with LeBron. And
No.
a lot of this, look at, you could blame everybody else for your shortcomings in life, but start looking at yourself as well.
Yes.
The truth can only be figured out once you talk to yourself. Okay. And once upon a time, by the way, there's another great one too coming up, but LeBron James wanted to move on from Kyrie Irving after he won a title in Cleveland. This was not just a rumor. This was reported by agents that he was trying to get Chris Paul to come there. And Kyrie was headstrong as I'm the point guard. And they didn't. There was a ball that was up in the air, and it was Chris Paul. And that was why Kyrie Irving asked to leave. And he didn't care where he was going. Get me out of here.
Out of here.
As although they might be portrayed as friends, Kyrie Irving doesn't trust LeBron James.
No.
And to be quite honest, no one else should either.
Yeah, no, listen, I agree with you. I thought
his own son's not thrilled to hang out with him. I know, but what'd he say? Well, it doesn't really. That really wasn't my goal to play with my dad.
Yeah. It seemed like more of that was LeBron's goal than Bronny's goal.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't hung out with the guy your whole life. You think you'd want to hang out with him? He's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a little strange. It needs to be said, and it needs to be talked about for a minute, because the guy did you a solid, and the whole time you're sitting there going, I'm not impressed. I care less.
And that should raise a little red flags for you. What Jack just said too is that nobody seems to want to play with LeBron. LeBron made multiple phone calls to multiple free agents this year, multiple people that was going to be traded this year. None went to the Lakers.
No,
that's pretty crazy. Like, not only is Lakers a storied franchise, tied for the most championships ever, or no, sorry, they have one less than the Celtics now. Championships ever in the NBA. So second most ever. You're playing with probably the second greatest player ever to play the game with LeBron James. Like, why wouldn't you want to play for the Lakers? You have two of the two things. So what's so bad there? Is it that LeBron is so bad?
Yeah.
Is it the way the Lakers is ran as an organization anymore? Or is it a mixture of both?
Well, the organization doesn't necessarily matter if you're winning.
Well, nothing matters when you're winning. Like they say in the NFL, winning cures all.
Carmelo Anthony retired. Like, Anthony went there, right? And he was like, I'm going to play with LeBron. And they went, no, you're going to come off the bench.
Yeah.
No, I came here to play with my buddy. Just like everybody else does. I'm a good player. And they went, no, that's thank you, but you're becoming off the bench.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony retired.
Yeah.
And I just, I've never been the biggest LeBron guy. I think that he's had a fantastic career.
Yeah.
But what he does is what you guys shouldn't do. And he skips steps. He went from high school right into the NBA. That's fine. But he didn't really get an education.
No. And he wasn't like a Kobe Bryant, who really didn't need a college education. I mean, the guy spoke 7 different languages, The guy was a genius.
Kobe got an education through travel, through his father played in Italy.
Yep.
And by the way, he sat there and he went, okay, I'm going to learn from these. Like, he learned from Tim Duncan, Wake Forest. He learned from
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, North
Yes.
Carolina. He
Yeah.
picked
No,
all these guys' brains.
and that's the thing is that you alluded to this in a former podcast of ours that Kobe stole everybody else's moves.
Mhm.
He learned from other people. He took their moves and put it in his repertoire. And that's why he became so great, is because he was able to take other people's moves, utilize it along with his own skill set, and become one of the greatest players ever played the game.
Yeah, Kobe's motto was, hey, look, this works for everybody else. So I'm going to learn that. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to learn this. Hey,
Yeah.
how do we put together a nice event for everyone to come to? Well, I have to have a couple appetizers, right? Then we're going to have to put together a nice meal for everybody.
Yeah.
And then we got to make sure that the drinks complement the meal. And
Mhm.
we have to have a dessert. Well, I don't know how to make dessert. Well, you better learn how to do it, because
Yeah.
otherwise people stick around for dessert and coffee, right? It keeps the conversation going. So,
Yeah.
you have to know how to do a bunch of different things if you want to have people around you.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
no one wants to be around LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
So he's learned how to do one thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my thoughts. And I'm not around him. He hasn't invited me. He should have. He would have learned some things.
Yeah. 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 One thing I liked about Kobe, and when he was with the Lakers, there was that time where he said that he wanted to be traded. They made it to the playoffs that year. I remember it was, I think, maybe game 1 or game 2. He was shooting like incredibly. I forget. He had a ridiculous game, but they ended up losing, and he got crucified by the media for it. So what did he do? The next game, comes out and doesn't shoot at all. The second half, he didn't shoot one shot. He kept passing it to everybody. What did they do? They got crushed.
Mm-hmm.
And what did they do the next year? They surrounded him with people. That's when they got Paul Gasol. They brought in a couple other people, and then he went on to the second half of his career.
Do you know where he wanted to be traded to?
Where's that?
He wanted it. The Lakers went, well, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna play? Do you want to go play in this, that, and the other thing? You want to go play in Chicago? Because he goes, no, trade me to Washington. They went, what? He goes, yeah, trade me to Washington. And they went, well, we don't even know if he goes, yeah. He goes, here's a couple. He checked out the players that would be available that would also move. And his goal was to play with Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
And that's all he wanted.
That's it. Okay, I got you.
That was the move. And the Lakers went, if he goes to Washington with Michael Jordan, we'll lose everything.
Oh, yeah.
Washington will now be a mainstay. They'll get all the TV deals.
I was just going to say they'd get every TV deal. They'd be on a station every single night that they played.
And the Lakers only didn't do it not so they can get their team to be better. They only didn't do it because they were going to lose the TV deals. And it seems like many years later, that's still how they do business.
Mm-hmm.
They still do business just to be on TV.
Well, they're in LA. They're in the capital entertainment of the world, LA. You
got to figure out how to win.
Yeah. No, I agree. You do. I mean, everybody likes winners. No one likes a loser.
Well, you can't. Your star can't be Vlade Divac.
No.
We've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be interesting. You have to have some juice, and you have to win basketball games. And the Lakers aren't doing it, and I don't foresee it. As age comes at you, you might be able to play really good YMCA basketball, but you don't want to be hit. You don't want to be knocked to the floor. Going side to side, the joints don't move the same. Youth wins. Trust me.
Yeah. Listen, I was really high on the Lakers after the JJ. I mean, we talked after the JJ Redick hire. I was really high on them. I'm like, they're going to come out. They're going to make their team a little bit deeper, a little bit stronger, but they did nothing. So I can't stand behind them now. I can't say, that I'm rooting for them. I can't say that, I think they're going to be good next year. I don't. I think they're all older, all a little bit slower. I think schematically they're going to get a little bit better with JJ. As far as uh, making adjustments throughout the game, I think they'll get a little bit better. But ultimately, they have the same squad as last year, but just older.
Look, DeRozan's from LA and chose Sacramento.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no one's talking about that as a story. That's a story.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one's saying anything.
Yeah.
No one is saying anything about it. Everybody's really excited about the Paul George going to Philadelphia as well.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I think that's an overrated move. I really do. I'm not a huge Paul George fan. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I mean, I get that he's a solid player, but I don't think he's a superstar that most people think he is.
Well, once upon a time, Paul George went to Larry Bird when he was in Indiana Pacers. Close your eyes, guys. It's story time. So once upon a time, he went to Larry Bird and he wanted a new contract. And it was just after the Pacers were beaten by the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. And he wanted to sit down and talk about contract and all this other stuff. And Larry Bird went, Paul, I want to give you a better contract, but you went to LeBron James for advice on winning and how to compete and all these other things. You went to him. It's just like, I've won championships. You have me in-house. You shouldn't have gone to another country and asked them why they're winning, because he probably won't tell you the truth because he's beating you. You don't go to the guy that just beat you
Just
and
beat
ask
you.
how to become a champion.
Yeah. Yeah.
He told Paul George, he goes, so with all due respect, I think you're weak. And when you win something, I'll give you a new contract. Close the door on him. Paul George was furious. And he did not get a new contract. And he left Indiana. Let's fast forward 10 years. 12, 13 years, give or take. What has Paul George won? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
He still
nothing.
hasn't won anything. Zero.
Yeah.
So, forgive me. Why are we giving this guy all this money? Is Philly a contender? How? He hasn't won anything. They picked up a guy who still doesn't know how to win.
Exactly. Yes.
To
a team that seems to choke every year.
Right. Embiid's going to go down with a knee 55 games in. Tyrese Maxey will have to carry the team. And they'll be like, hey, Paul, are you good? Well, Paul. And he'll be over there. He'll give you your 25-8 in the first half. He'll end up with 27-10. And he'll only give you 2 points in the second half. And you lost by 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah. Yeah. A little side note on that Clay trade with the Mavs. It's the first ever 6-team NBA trade. There's 6 teams involved in that trade.
Oh my God.
Just a little side note on that. That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we're used to seeing a 3-team trade. That's pretty common in the NBA. But to get 6 teams together to agree on anything, wow, that's pretty impressive.
They had to get 6 teams together.
Yeah.
To move them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wanted them out.
Yeah. No, listen, I get it.
No, but think about the work that you have to do on the phones.
Oh, yeah.
6 other general managers. By the way, probably 10 to 12 because you were trying to work it down to 6.
Work at other
You're
people.
Yeah.
This
collective cloud that'll work for your trade.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because the Lakers was involved in that somewhere, Well, by all reports anyways, the Lakers were extremely interested in Clay.
They were all involved.
Like so much to where it was reported that like I said earlier, that LeBron James actually picked up the phone and called him.
Yeah, I mean, he probably did.
It'd be funny. Like Clay is sitting there. Yeah. No, thank you. Click. No buy, nothing. No, thank you. Click.
I just think that, again, the environment and the air in LA has always been smog filled and thick. And I think the very instance where LeBron James showed up, it got thicker.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to live like that. And I don't think anybody else does either.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the Mavs are a better fit for him anyways. I really do.
They might be catch and shoot on the outside.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's Clay, catch and shoot.
Doesn't have to do a lot.
No,
Yeah,
no, no, no. You get me, 16, 18 points a game, we're good.
yeah.
And he's more than capable of doing that now. He's more than capable of hitting a couple threes, throughout the game. He's not the same clutch shooter that he used to be. He's not the same athlete that he used to be. He can't play defense like he used to be. So, and again, I'll always love Clay. I'm just trying to tell you how I see his game now.
Yeah, I mean that's an accurate assumption. I mean, he went where he wanted to go play.
Yeah, yeah. And to be honest, of all the players that you like, don't you wish that for all of them? Just I hope you finish up your career where you want to be.
Yeah, it would be nice to have the opportunity. And it's also nice knowing that none of them want to be a Laker.
I know.
Except JJ Redick for whatever reason. Well, I know why JJ Redick wants to be a Laker. I mean, anything's better than sitting next to Doris Burke and having a look at her. She's pretty,
the Lakers kind of remind me of the Knicks like 5 years ago. How they were always rumored to have those good free agents coming in and nothing ever happening. Nobody wanted to go to the Knicks. A storied franchise, but they just couldn't seem to get anybody.
Well, and right. And what's going to happen is they're going to start becoming worse.
Mm-hmm.
And until they look at themselves in the mirror and go, hey, this isn't how we do things. Until they do that, they're done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Definitely agree. Quick hits. Anything else on quick hits? I think we hit the NBA trades pretty good.
That was all I had. I just wanted to kind of talk about Tyreek's list. I wanted to highlight some baseball. We got home run derbies headed our way.
Mm-hmm.
And we took care of oh yeah, I can beat Bronny James and horse. Call me.
Okay. All right.
Call me. I'm confident.
It's one of those things. Prove you wrong.
Yeah, I'll meet you in a gym. Let's go play.
He has to take a shot to beat you, though, right?
Yeah, I won't even get him a shot. No, I mean,
I'm just saying. I mean, the guy took, I think, 2 shots. He didn't take any on the second half for his first game out there in action. He didn't take any shots in the second half, and I believe he only took like 2 in the first half. So
I saw a statistic where somewhere he's 6 for 28.
6 for 20. Okay.
I've never been 6 for 28 on a basketball court, by the way. Never. I mean, it's just sad.
Mm-hmm.
For lack of a better word. He's not good enough.
Yeah, yeah. And everybody keeps saying, well, his skill set wasn't scoring. His skill set's more defensive, which is fine. I mean, everybody can have a role, and if that's the role, fine, being a defensive player. I mean, there's plenty of NBA players who made a career out of being a defensive player.
Yeah, it's Tony Allen.
So.
It's Tony Allen. That's what he is.
Okay.
That's what his ceiling is, Tony Allen.
The last thing I have for quick hits is I want to touch on Brandon Aiyuk's situation real quick.
Oh God.
To be honest, I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. The latest thing, and I'm sure you've seen it, happened last week. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Was him sharing Washington's practice stuff on Instagram. What the fuck is he doing?
So I'm going to tell you what's going on.
Oh, I'm listening. My ears are perked right up. I'm listening.
He brought his buddy Jaden Daniels to the meeting and went, "Hey, this is my friend at this meeting." Remember we talked about that with John Lynch?
Mm-hmm.
And John went, "Good. Now I want you to go to the media and say that you want to be a 49er." And he went, "Okay, I'll do that." And then he went and did that, and then his phone hasn't rung since.
Okay.
And Aiyuk went, "I did everything you asked me to do. By the way, I'm a top 5, top 10 wide receiver in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with this. He's not going to show up. It's the marriage is fractured. You didn't pick up the phone. You didn't give him an extra $2 million, and you could have moved money. Like, if you want to play the game, that's fine. You're going to have to go find another receiver."
Yeah.
But he's telling you right now, he's like, "Look, Do me a favor. Sign me, and Washington will pay for me because they're smart.
Mm-hmm.
And then trade me. Trade me to Washington. I think that's
Yeah.
what he's doing. Because
Well, they
I
don't
think
even need to sign him. They could just trade him right now. They don't need to sign him. We talked about this before. A fifth-year option for a player is not the same as a franchise tag. Franchise tag, the player has to sign it. Fifth-year option, player does not have to sign it. They are under contract for that 5th year.
Yeah, but the marriage is fractured. He's not going to go out there and play.
Mm-hmm.
It's over.
The only thing that I could think of that can salvage this, in my way of thinking, is that Deebo Samuel didn't get signed until 2 weeks into the season. Bosa didn't get signed until the first week into the regular season. He didn't get signed. So, I mean, the 49ers are notorious for doing this. I just hope it's not beyond repair.
It feels like he's been lied to, though. And that's the only problem. Because you know, whether people go, well, I wish he wouldn't act. Listen, people act according to how they're treated.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do, right? Oh, that guy's crazy. Or did someone really make him angry? Right? Oh, he shouldn't have done that. Well, maybe he should have given him close to what he asked for, not given him an insulting number back.
Mm-hmm.
I just believe that Brandon Aiyuk is getting to the point. He's letting you know he's done. And he clearly wants to play in Washington.
Yeah.
And
clearly.
The last thing the 49ers want is a knock from Magic Johnson on their door going, how do we get Brandon over in Washington?
Mm-hmm.
He's a partial owner, and Magic can sell. He doesn't necessarily shop perfectly or coach perfectly, but he can sell an idea.
Yeah. No, he's always been a great businessman. Absolutely.
So I just think it's him letting you know that, hey, I was quiet. I did all the things you asked me to do. My phone hasn't rung. We're not close. You know what? Just get me out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think we're at.
Okay. All right. I can see it. I just hope that's not the case. I can see it. I just hope it's him trying to just playing hardball. What concerns me more than anything is that he's releasing practice film. He's from another team. Like, why is Jalen Daniels sending him practice film?
Larry Bird.
Like, if I'm Washington, I'm having a talk with Jalen Daniels and saying, listen, I don't want you releasing our tapes to other people of our practices.
Larry Bird used to call his own shots and then shoot in the same place. If you're that good, it doesn't matter.
Nobody's that good. The NFL is different. You need somebody to throw you that ball. The NBA, you don't need anybody to throw you that ball. They're just going to shoot. I'm
just getting really excited for Brandon Aiyuk in a Washington Commanders jersey.
It's not going to happen.
I'm telling you, because now he's really moving up the fantasy ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He just keeps going, because if he's in San Francisco, I got to deal with Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, and is he going to throw it to him this week? If San Francisco did a straight up Aiyuk for McLaurin in a 7th round draft pick, let's go.
No. It's going to take a lot more than that to get Brandon Aiyuk. A lot more. He's a top 5 wide receiver. We're not giving him away to nobody. That's giving him away.
But you don't want to pay him like a top 5. You want to pay him like a top 10, top 15.
We want to pay him like a top 5 wide receiver. We were offering him top 5 money.
Terry McLaurin.
We were offering him 27. Reports are 26, 27. We were offering him a year. That's top 5 money. That's right up there with your AJ Browns, and everybody. Just a hair less.
AJ Brown got his deal years ago.
He just got a different extension. They redid his contract this year. AJ Brown did.
Oh, okay.
So he got. I believe right before Smith got his deal. They redid his deal to give Smith some money.
All right.
So, but like I said before, it's going to be about, and I keep reiterating it, it's all about that guaranteed money. It's all about the guaranteed money. It's not that yearly income. Yeah, you can put $30 million down a year on paper, but if you don't hit your incentives and stuff, that doesn't turn into 30.
Just put a gold W right here. That's coming. I'm telling you.
Here we go, Jack. Here we go. All right, that's all I got for this week.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for checking us out at the Every Point Sports Podcast. I am Jack Neary from Fantasy Farm Sports. Greg Kratzer, Old Gamer GK. It's always fun on a Sunday choosing and picking our topics for our points. Guys, we'll see you next week. We'll have fantasy football news, I promise.
Ooh, exciting. Everybody have a great day. Have a great week. Thanks again for showing up. Keep showing your support, and everybody have a good day.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Every Point Sports Podcast featuring Greg and Jack.